Good morning. How's it going? Glad to see you. So, it's day 3 of eating right and working out. And I've noticed already like a dramatic change of hunger. And this is the first time I've tried to do this. So, having the water with salted lime in it, that's a big deal. And then last night I got a Propel, sugar-free with the zinc and iodine or something like that. I don't know. I drank that, and that really helped with because I'm full because I'm eating, but it just feels like something's missing type of deal. And from what I've been watching on the YouTubes and stuff, basically like even them goats that are up on the side of the mountain, they're up there looking for the right rock to lick because there's natural salt licks. And animals will go for miles to get it because your body needs it. And so by making sure my body has that, those electrolyte salts and stuff, manganese, whatever. I think a multivitamin, and but having that drink, man, it sure helps. I'm doing the coffee because I want the benefits of the coffee. I need to not drink the coffee probably, but this for me is a weight loss situation more so than anything else. Although the parameters of 75 hard and keep my life I'm not exactly sitting around. I really do have I really work and all the ministry stuff. And so how does all that come together? Like a train wreck. And other times it should be a train wreck by all accounts, and it's smooth as butter. So that's amazing. And I got to give God the credit for the parts that are working out, and I'm going to take credit for the parts that don't. And because looking back over my life, it's generally me making mistakes, and He's just saving me type of deal. And I could have went a different route. I did go a different route, specifically to see the wife when she got off work. She works real late, and she got jury duty. So I was unable to convince. I have a problem with every time I say something, there's some excuse not to. You know what I mean? It's just like every time. You know what I mean? Like I'm literally going to buy a cake, a 3-layer wedding cake, a freaking 4-foot tall, whatever. Maybe not 4 foot tall or 3-layered, but yeah, like I'm going to have it. I'm going to declare it agreement day if ever I say anything, and the answer is a simple okay, because the Lord is teaching me patience. And I am struggling to deal with that. But I think on the back side of that, there will be reason for celebration. Not just like, some kind of smart-ass celebration, but like real celebration and breakthrough. Because it's going to take a lot from me, and it's going to take some from her too. And the freight and God Himself dictates where I'm at, where I'm going. And the same situation for my wife. Like, who wants to go do jury duty? Not exactly something you can just be like, nah. You know what I mean? So, and because of her work schedule, getting up to go do that is a problem. It'd be like you getting up at, if jury duty was 2 a.m. because her schedule, she's more of an evening worker anyway. The diet is going great. I've been working out, and I lay down, and I'm just sore, like my neck and my back, my shoulders. I got this resistance bands, and when I use them, they're nothing. You know what I mean? So I just put them all together and started using them that way. Bro, it don't seem like it's nothing, but you get about 30 to 90 reps in a row, and it's just, I'm trying to go to failure, but I can't take it to failure. Like, I just go and go and go and go and go, and but then after reps and sets of this, I'm finding myself laying down just stiff as a board, like my neck was stiff, and there's all these muscles you don't use when you got the weights and the bars. You got this weight, that weight, and they're hooked together with this bar.
In a quarter mile, use the right lane to take the US 82 East ramp to Clarksville.
We got this stability, and then when you don't have that, and you're pushing to failure, and your head can wobble around a little bit, you know what I mean?
Use the right lane to take the US 82 East ramp, then turn left onto US 82 East.
You're not holding onto that bar, so you're not stabilizing with both hands. Or like a curling bar, for example. I just stand on this rubber band, freaking, doing curls or whatever, and then
turn left onto US 82 East, Lamar Avenue.
Being able to take those resistance bands and hook them onto the...
Continue on US 82 East for 26 miles.
Being able to hook them onto where you climb in the truck. Now, like I'm doing exercise I've never done before. You know what I mean? So I got this resistance, and I'm just throwing punches under resistance and doing it slow and controlled, and then hold that thing out all the way, and then just doing the body movements of various degrees, and it's a very new, and I just want to say a lot about the resistance bands. They're not enough. They're not enough. Like you can put 25 of these things on there, and not 25 of them. I got 5 on there, and I'm doing all the things with them, and it doesn't seem like nothing. I'm pretty sure that if I hooked them on the bar and tried to do pull-ups, that I could probably do 100 pull-ups. It's that much. It's significant. But just pulling against them every which way it'll surprise. If you're not used to it, it'll get you. I'm doing this carnivore thing. I'm eating beef. I told myself beef, butter, eggs, chicken, and fish. And I got to looking at fish. They got a lot of mercury in that fish, so I think I'm going to go with cod and flounder. If I can find cod or flounder and sardines, but I don't like sardines, so the thought is smaller fish, non-predatory, they don't have as much mercury and heavy metals. It's like, why try to do something healthy and then sabotage yourself, poison yourself, and the point of getting away from the plants is pesticides, herbicides, lectins, and all this other kind of stuff. And then watching some of this stuff about the microbiome and all that, and if you don't eat plants, you kind of don't need it. So I don't need to modify myself with probiotics and prebiotics and take this pill wrapped in another pill so it breaks down in my intestine to deal with the rotting sauerkraut. It doesn't even sound right to me. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, okay, yeah, you want to drink kefir, which is fermented, and then sauerkraut, which is fermented, and then part of 75 hard is don't drink alcohol because it's bad and it's fermented. So I'm just like, I'm looking at this thing all the way around. I gotta hear something about this Jebediah bread or whatever, and I gotta look into that more. You know, and that's for a different episode. But I don't even think that's what we call bread today. The ingredients, the way it goes down. I tell you, this thing won't make a single noise. It won't rattle nothing. I start making a video, and yeah. Anyways. Woke up this morning, absolute zero on the soreness scale. I was not sore at all. The stiffness in my neck feels like power, like right back here. It does not feel like sore, it feels like strength. And I used to listen to Metallica a lot. I was a headbanger growing up, so yeah, like I know what a sore neck feels like. It's just like awakening all these muscles, and you know, you really gotta be careful who you're listening to on the YouTube, because this one guy, he was talking about, you know, don't fast and lose your muscle because you can't get it back, and I was like, why does this guy think that if you're over 50 you can't get muscle back? Like, that is, you know, that's like Satan himself trying to speak lies, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And it's just like, hey, why would you not be? It don't even make no sense. It don't make no sense whatsoever. That same guy was talking about the length of time it takes for an Achilles tendon to heal after it's been ripped, the connective tissue. And I'm like, well, maybe if it's ripped, I guess, it might heal up or whatever, but if you cut it, they're hobbled for life. You know what I mean? Until they get, like, you know, significant medical help. They ain't going nowhere for a while, for sure. I've seen that in action. Anyways. So, man, that's a bad memory. So, eating right and everything, and then I was watching another guy talking about the law, and he was talking about the spirit of the law. So, like, one of them is put the parapet wall around the roof so you don't fall off, and he was talking about how that's similar to a speed limit sign. It's like, hey, don't drive real fast here because it's a school zone or whatever. So the spirit of the law, you know, if I'm going to follow God's ways, and we know that law and order come from the Mosaic law and the order of Melchizedek. So when I see, you know, 55, I should go 55, because there might be something up here that I can't handle. And at 55, I can stop the vehicle before problem, whatever. Same as if there's a parapet wall on the roof, if somebody walks over there to, you know, talk to somebody that's on the ground or whatever, they don't fall off. There's a little wall there. So that's good. Well, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about what I'm doing with this, you know, eating cows and stuff. And so that's pretty well, you know, don't eat pork, right? So I'm like, cool, no pork. And although, you know, the thought of bacon and eggs, it sounds good, sure. But, like, I'm not going to eat bacon, dude. I'm just not going to do that, because it says don't do that. Now, the debate is, you know, kosher or not, do I have to follow that, blah, blah. And if I follow the law to the best of my ability, and I struggle to try to do that, I'm going to grow into Christ's likeness, because he followed the law. And he's my example, right? And then if he died for my sins, if I don't follow the law, here's the flip side of the coin. If I just eat whatever I want because Jesus died so I'd have that freedom, okay. Either way, nothing says if I try to keep this. It says if you keep one part, You got to keep the whole law, right? And then we get down to, well, what does keep mean? Well, for me, now, I don't know, I could be completely wrong on this. And according to Google and a lot of preachers, I am. But in my heart, I'm pretty sure I'm right. I think keep is respect. You know what I mean? When I respect the rules of my dad's house, then I'm more successful. If I find it an endearment to him, you know what I mean? And he's like, don't smoke cigarettes. They're not good for you. And he goes on and has this whole list. And then I'm hanging out with these people, and part of their culture is to sit around and pass a pipe around and smoke a little bit. Or this other group, they have a cigar or whatever. I mean, that's a lot different than 2-pack a day habit. You know what I mean? But I'm still not going to do that. And I'm going to tell them, I'm going to say, hey, look, for me, I'm not supposed to do that. Hey, that's the end of it, you know. I don't owe you an explanation or anything else like that. I'm the kind of guy, I will tell you why, but I don't do it out of obligation. I do it out of a opportunity to say, hey, man, this involves my integrity with my Creator. You know what I mean? And you want to consider your integrity towards your Creator as well. You know what I mean? And that, to me, why I do what I do is as important, or even more in some, for instances, extremely more in other, for instances, the motivation for why you're doing what you're doing is a big deal. And you know, I mean, you can be Superman and save the world, and the whole thing is, so you're like, look at me, I healed the sick, I raised the dead, I cast out demons. Jesus is like, depart from me, I never knew you, you worker of lawlessness. Well, what lawless inequity are they doing? Pride. You know what I mean? Like, pride comes before destruction. So, you know, I want to keep the pride in check. And I mean, how do you do that? You know, confess the truth that you don't know what you're doing. That's easy for me. I make giant mistakes all the time. I about said effed it up. Caught myself. Thank you, Lord, for that self-control. So it didn't work out. I didn't get to see my wife, and I wake up, and I was butthurt about it. I ain't gonna lie. So instead of saying anything, I just held my peace, went on, and get over to this place that I've never stopped before, and would not have stopped under different circumstances. Wouldn't even have been there. Wake up to an alarm that's just like, you know, I'm sleeping in anyway, I don't care, you know, and just kind of poopy pants. And then I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to get up anyway. I get up, it's the exact, by the time I roll out of bed, it's the exact time I'm supposed to be up to drive. You know what I mean? Like, I got just enough time to do my thing before I actually roll. And there's a guy working on his truck next to me with a crescent wrench. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. I'm like, what's going on, man? Or whatever like that. And I just walk over there with a ratchet, some sockets, some deep weld sockets. And this is like Pittsburgh Harbor Freight stuff from freaking 5 years ago that I've used 4 times in 5 years. And every single time I could have just called road service. And I was just in a hurry, so that's why I didn't. Like change out a bud flap on the trailer or something, you know. And there's this guy. I give to where I go in the store, and I come back out with my coffee, and there he was. And he's like, "Oh man, yeah, I got it." Yeah, his radiator hose was leaking because the clamp was loose, and he's trying to get on that clamp and everything, and you know, it's just not working out. Anyway, I get in the truck, and I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, I give him that stuff or whatever. He was just like, he was so appreciative. He was out of Florida, don't know nobody around here, and just an old guy, you know, and he spoke some of the most profound blessings over my family that I've heard in a long time or whatever like that. And he was driving a truck that's obviously old and going to, you know, need repairs and stuff. And he's not affiliated with somebody that's going to send road service, right? This dude, he breaks down. If he don't fix it, he's going to lose, you know, $1,000 for somebody to come out there and twist a wrench for 5 minutes and get robbed by the freaking road service guys. Anyway, so this still small voice in my head, give him the tools. So I thought about it for half a second, you know what I mean? And I got things I got to do or whatever, need to get on the road. And I just stopped what I was doing. And I got the tools out of the side box. Well, I said to myself, if that's really God, the side box will be open. And I know that I locked it, but you know what? I got out, I opened that side box. I didn't push it all the way closed. It wasn't latched. So I'd have been driving down the road with my side box open in the rain. It's supposed to rain after a while. I've been trying to I need to get out and do some jogging before it gets hot. Or before it rains a lot. I might do that since I'm done with this video. Anyways, I go over and I tried to hand it to him where he opened the door because his window don't roll down. And he's like, oh no, it's okay, man. And I just set them tools in there right there. I said, man, hang on to it. I said, God looking after you or whatever. And he give me his number, I'll give him my number, whatever I can. So he can call me anytime. And I'm off on the road going. Okay, now I would have loved for my wife to get off work and to give her a hug. I'd say, I love you, babe. It's going to be a good day. This, that, and the other. And, you know, feed her some, you know, hamburger meat. But God put me in this other place for a reason. You know? And if the time is short, your heart is willing, you're going to be in these different places, different stages, and just walk in obedience, man. That's really all you got to do. And that's overly simplified intentionally from the Creator, in my opinion. Out of the mouths of babes, right? Kids say the darkest things. The emperors do clothes. I mean, over and over. It's really a thing. It's really a thing. And, well, we're looking at this kosher diet, whether or not we're going to eat bacon. Because bacon is delicious, for the record. I'm not eating it. You know why? Because I don't think I'm supposed to. You know what is not delicious? Pesticide. Herbicide. In my opinion, these people that are doing this carnivore diet are having the luck that they're having because the animals that they're eating are able to process that stuff out. And of course, you know, if all you can afford is any sausage and hot dogs, well, that's not as good as you know, your neighbor's grass-fed, grass-finished, whatever, buy a cow, have a cow in your freezer, have a freezer big enough to hold a cow, and all this other stuff. Like, you gotta work up to it, right? But I'm gonna not eat broccoli for the same reason I'm not eating pigs. Because it's poison. And God told me don't do that. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna look at the law the same way. You know what I mean? Is the Mosaic law what I'm supposed to follow? Yeah. Okay. Is part of that the speed limit? Yeah. Buddy, I'm a truck driver. You know, to repent from speeding Are you kidding me right now? But we're gonna give it a shot. I mean, this all in DGRAF. This next 75 days, I'm just all in. I think I'm gonna start putting that I checked all the boxes for the 75 hard, just that way I got that calculator to maintain the days. It's got a spot for notes down there. I'll probably just put in the bottom there, like the part that I'm lying about. That way I'm not lying, I guess. It's like, did you win today? Yeah. In the notes, it's like, you know, I didn't quite drink a gallon of water today. Just being honest. I'm clicking this deal to keep track. Or, you know, I could just actually do 75 hard and not be a punk. You know what I mean? I come up with these excuses. Which makes a lot more sense. See, this is what I call stumbling into righteousness. Now, on top of everything else, I have to drive the speed limit. Okay, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. No pressure. See, the yoke is easy. I'm going to drive the speed limit because I believe God wants me to develop this discipline in my craft. When I tell people I was wild growing up, I'm telling you right now, I was wild. It's a big deal. But I gotta show respect, man. He died for me. He died for me. I look down at that speed, when I see that speed limit sign, well, like right now I'm in Texas, so I'm on a back road and it's 70 miles an hour. So not exactly hard to keep it under 70 in the 2-lane highway. However, yeah, you get back east, it's like 45. It's like, why? Why are we going 45? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that because I respect God. I'm going to follow the speed limit because Jesus died for my sin. There's a part in the Bible where it says when you pray for your enemies, you're heaping coals of fire on their head. You know what I mean? And then His word is like a flame. The knowledge, His ways are higher than our ways. And some make it to heaven as one passing through the fire. You know what I mean? So like, what if a different perspective, when you pray for your enemy, it'll burn up their chaff so that they'll repent. What if that's part of it? A different way to look at that. What if I want my opponents to suffer to the point of get right? That seems more in the line of love. Versus the other way is like, oh, I'll pray for you. You know what I mean? And in your head, you're like, they're going to hell. And I'm just shoveling the coals on them. Man. The kingdom's right now. And separation from God is one definition of hell. The further you get away from the shepherd out in the field, the more you become wolf bait. You know what I mean? Don't be selling wolf tickets. That's what they call it in the jail. In the Hoos Cow. Call that wolf tickets. That's when you're putting yourself out there. You're walking around with them sagging pants, and a buzzard is liable to get you. And a buzzard, if you haven't been to prison, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? But if you find yourself in prison and they point somebody out and say, that guy over there is a buzzard, have nothing to do with that person. Trust me. Anyways, terrible memories this morning. Thank God not of my own. I I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of people have to deal with a lot of stuff that was unnecessary, just based on the way they were going about what they were doing. Not necessarily what they were doing was wrong, but the motivation for what they were doing. You know what I mean? The thing they did was great. You know, God uses sinners all the time to accomplish His will. Cool. But woe unto them. Woe unto them. And if we see it nowadays, we look over there, the results, we look over there and we go, whoa. Whoa. Woe unto them. Let's have a little look around. Yeah, this is a 70-mile-an-hour zone in Texas. It's pretty nice. The audio is probably terrible. Like this, just right. I got this stuff I need already. I just ain't got it hooked up. I apologize for that. It's something else I need to do. I mean, the hits keep coming. There is so much that I need to do, and I'll watch this later. That's the reason why I'm mentioning this stuff. Is because, you know, people need to see this. People need to see this. If you'll get off at that interstate and you drive out through the countryside, you spend some time thinking about what God's done for you and everything. You need that in your life. You need that. You need to be taking your kids. One of the reasons why America got so good and industrialized was that, you know, get your kicks on Route 66, and this is what it was. This is what it was. He was cruising. That's what it was. And because of that, they seen the value, and because of that, they got, you know, better with the trades and stuff. You'd be amazed what goes on around here. There's Starbucks everywhere in Texas, like Dollar General stores now. And I'm not sure why. I don't know who is buying. I don't personally hang out with people that go to Starbucks, but there must be a lot of people going to Starbucks because it's, you know, it's very lucrative. I had a coffee shop when I was in prison, and I didn't realize it was that big a deal. It could have been skip bucks. I mean, just very easily. It very much did have to do that. And being a trucker and stuff, you know, I know how to, you know, get the beans off the boat, and they actually come from up there around Seattle. So, yeah. I always thought it was so weird. Like, how did they come from Colombia, go through the Panama Canal, go all the way to the northwest corner of the continental United States, and then from there, all the coffee beans spread out everywhere else. Hey, there's so much stuff like that in logistics. There's so much stuff. Like right now, I'm taking wheels from Mexico to basically Memphis, just south of there, and then they'll send them as they order them to the Nissan facilities that are in Alabama. And if the Nissan facility had a warehouse, they could cut the middleman out completely and have what they needed right there where they needed it. And I think the only reason why they do it the way they do it is because there's also a rail yard there in Memphis. So some of the stuff they're getting off of the rail. So when I'm delivering and the rail's delivering, they might send half a trailer of wheels and half a trailer of other parts. But yeah, still a struggle to make it make sense to have these vehicles. And then there's no point in making all these cars. There's no point. Year after year after year, billions and billions of cars. You know, like just make something that will last 20 years. You know, and yeah, that would be better. I understand why they don't. They would work themselves out of business, but it seems like if the whole thing was consolidated and just done correctly, and if we ever got back to the ways of y'all, you know what I mean? Like when Jesus comes back, and it's that 1,000 years. I think that's what we're prepared for. In that 1,000 years, you know, we're gonna actually experience the do right and the lack of dumb shittery and the lack of sin, and then after that, you know, he'll make the new earth. We'll be there forever. You know what I mean? So that'll be great. And a thought crossed my mind one time about the various ways. And I think that on the back side of yonder, there's a lot more and greater things that we don't have privy to right now. And we don't have privy to it right now because of selfish ambition. And you'll see the ones that try to say it. There's a lot of these cults and stuff. They get y'all twisted up. Don't worry about none of that stuff. All you need is the Bible. And these other books about the Bible, they're so suspect and ain't funny. I mean, it's just, yeah, you want to watch out for that stuff. Anyways, I'm going to get off here. I'm starting to ramble.